his brother Terry in the Iowa lineup came Tom Terrific. Tom Brands turned a toss-up match between the Hawkeyes and Cowboys into a battle Kendall Cross might just as soon have missed.
Here's one we told you about in the beginning of our show. It's Tom Brands, the twin brother of Terry Brands, you just saw, against Kendall Cross, number 2 ranked junior from Mustang, Oklahoma, who is very good and just showed why. He's in on a low single right away, but countered beautifully by his Brands. This is going to be a tussle.
You know, don't the Brands boys' intensity remind you a lot of someone that's coaching them in the room a lot, named Barry Davis?
Yeah, I remember him. If you've forgotten about it, that's intentionally. It's considered
and presto, there he is.
Dangerous. That's Barry Davis.
One of the most intense, if not the most intense wrestler I've ever seen. Very successful, 2-time Olympian Barry Davis, now an assistant coach with Iowa. And you know he's on the mat with the Brands boys every night.
Well, I'll tell you what. A few minutes ago, we saw him over there, and he was sitting down. I guess he's sitting down right now. Yeah, you might make a note of that. There is Brands in on a single, and he does get the takedown. That was a quickie. Holy cow, the Hawks are starting out like a house of fire.
Right here, he gets in on the single leg. Boy, is he quick. I mean, I don't know whether he was that quick, but he's quick.
Now we're back to the action again with the score 2-0. Kendall Cross on the bottom, Oklahoma State's second-ranked man, but Brands, Tom Brands, has come to ranking number 5. The escape makes it 2-1. So Kendall Cross is going to be in a tough one. He knows it.
Well, both of these wrestlers have been wrestling the best competition in the nation, and as we talked beforehand, they've wrestled Jim Martin twice from Penn State. Each of them losing once, but each of them tying once. Jim Martin, the national champion from last year, and these two fellas have tied him already this year. It's going to be a barn burner in the NCAAs this year at 126.
Cross came in with a nice low single, but Brands was able to whizzer it, that overhook with the arm, and he's in a position of equality again. There were no points scored at all. There's a heel pick by Brands. Another quick takedown makes it 4-1.
Well, he put Kendall Cross down and he brought the fans to their feet. That was a great little heel pick right there. Quick again, did the job for 2 points.
Out Cross whizzers back across the arm, but he wasn't able to escape with it. All he could do was take the match out of bounds.
Right here, watch him. He tapped on the head, dropped down to the ankle pick, and had Cross going back. He didn't even have to drive into him for the 2 points.
4-1. Tom Brands' twin brother Terry beat Corey Bays in a major decision at 118 pounds. And now Tom is leading Kendall Cross, the second-ranked 26-pounder, 4-1.
Well, I'll tell you what, top wrestling, riding, runs in the family here of the Brands because both Terry and Tom have done outstanding job of riding their opponents.
Cross stands up, pulls his ankle free, and it's 4-2 now after the escape. You're watching Iowa Public Television's coverage of Iowa and Oklahoma State from Carver Hawkeye Arena. I'm Doug Brown. Tim Johnson is the man who's doing the analysis. In again goes Brand on the high single, but that was on the edge of the mat. That knee snatch over toward the boundary, and the good part for the Hawkeye fans happened out of bounds.
Well, I think both of these young men can throw. I think Kendall Cross is a very unorthodox wrestler. He's dangerous and he can throw. So Tom Brands has to be cognizant of that fact that he does not want to put himself in a compromising situation. But so far, he's been taking it to Kendall Cross, and that's the way to defense somebody who is a thrower.
And Brands has 59 seconds of riding time. There he is. He is getting the choice, and he decides what he wants. He defers, and Cross decides to take down. He's trailing by 2. An escape would make it 4-3. Kendall Cross comes from a hometown that just sounds like Oklahoma, huh? Mustang, Oklahoma.
Well, one of the real blue chippers a few years ago that Oklahoma State recruited 3 years ago. And he's really done a lot of freestyling also, and he's a World Cup, Junior World Cup champion.
Reaches back with the overhook. Brands wasn't worried about it, came right back with his own high single and scored with it, and he leads 6-3. Boy, when he's taken Cross down, he's taking him down, boom, right now.
Well, you know, he's not just taking down an average wrestler, too. Cross has only lost once this year, and that was to Jim Martin, as we talked about. He's an accomplished freestyle wrestler. He was the only American to beat the Russian in the Junior World Cup this last year. He's tough, and Tom Brands, a freshman, is taking it to him right now.
6-3. There's Barry Davis in the white shirt. And Mark Johnson leaning forward to talk. He's another Iowa assistant coach. Brands prevents the overhook this time. You see Cross leaning back for the Wizard. So when Brands is controlling the legs like that, Cross can't move, and then he comes up off the legs in time to avoid losing him, or avoid getting called for inactivity down there. And again, Brands counters Cross's move. Cross wants to be outside shooting from the distance, and Brands likes to get in and counter with it.
Cross is coming off a win last night, actually a fall against Dwayne Martin from UNI, and he's just really built up a great record this year, and he's probably thinking to himself right now that he's got to get it going, and he's running into something that maybe he didn't expect.
Well, it's 6-4, although, there's another takedown. 4 takedowns for Tom Brands. 4 takedowns, and his brother had 1, 2, 3, 4.
They're putting on a takedown clinic.
And Oklahoma State doesn't have any.
Well, you notice what they're doing. Right here again, he's controlling that arm. It was just a little throw by the arm, and then he dropped down, lowered his level, attacked a single, cut off, drove through for a double. And it all comes from motion and a
counter with a score 8-5, and that's just power. 10-5 with Tom Brands leading. Oklahoma State wrestled against the University of Northern Iowa, but wrestlers are used to going on the road and having tough weekend trips. And it's reaching the point at the end of the second period with Brands leading 10-5 on 5 takedowns, and with riding time. Well, that man and his assistant
we're looking at the Norm Stewart of wrestling right now. He may end up with ulcers too, like the Missouri basketball coach has right now. There's a lot of pressure on Josie, and it's not starting very well for him tonight.
Brands went right at Kendall Cross and takes him down, makes it 12-5. That's 6 takedowns for Tom Brands and none for Kendall Cross. He's working on a major decision. Now Tom Brands is dominating Kendall Cross. It's reached that point in this match. He is actually dominating. Cross hasn't been able to reach him at all.
Well, right now, you know, the rankings out of Amateur Wrestling News change every week. And you can see
why.
He
did it again. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The way he's dominating.
So many good teams get together in February, Doug. This is just an example right here, but you talked about the...
And another takedown, 16-7. The second-ranked man in the country has been taken down 8 times.
Not for long.
That's considered potentially dangerous. Boy, this match has turned into one of those look out, here he comes again kind of things. Clock is running with 35 seconds to go in the match. Brands is again on that high leg.
Well, the Brands twins are definitely one of the most exciting things to happen to Iowa wrestling in the last several years, Doug.
Do we have a takedown? We do have a takedown. It's 18-8, 9 times. and it's 18-9 after the escape. Holy cow. The Brands have just dominated Oklahoma State in matches numbers 1 and 2. And there it is, with writing time, 3 minutes of it. It's 19-9.